So in May of 2017, I, along with a bunch of other kids, were tasked to make a film for my film studies class. Now for someone who didn't have any experience with filmmaking, I was surprisingly obsessed with the idea ever since the task was brought up. The thing is, this assignment was hinted to us in the beginning of the school year, but we couldn't start working on it until the second semester. So, prior to May, I had already done a ton of research. I read books, went to forums, watched online videos. I looked at how cameras work, the composition, storyboarding, script writing. Hell, I even went as far as figuring out how to make Foley sounds. Everything about filmmaking became an addiction. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I was itching for that moment to come when I could finally start recording. I even forced my mom to get me the necessary equipment to get started. Now, although I was new to the concept of filmmaking, I didn't act like an amateur and ask for all the expensive gear. I had enough research and knowledge to figure out that gear doesn't equal skill. Instead, I went for the cheapest camera I could get at a neighborhood Walmart. Well, cheapest being relative to, DSLRs. I ended up with a Canon T5. That was the most exciting feeling I've ever had since I got my very first game console. I was tweaking out my camera so much that I couldn't sleep that night because the thought of making my first film wasn't just an idea anymore, it was going to be a reality. Now I know what you might be thinking. Yeah, Mike, that's cool and all, but what happened to the film? Well, it failed. And not in a not everyone liked it kind of way, but rather it was just never done in the first place. You see, going into this project, I was highly ambitious. Dangerously high. I thought that with the knowledge I had, I was going to be able to make the greatest short film in the history of that class. Though I don't think that would be much of an achievement either had I done it. I guess the proper phrase for this is I bit more than I could chew. I had my eyes set on a goal that wasn't going to be done by 5 students who had never seen a movie script before. Truth is, I envisioned filmmaking to be the career I was going to pursue. And even though that's still true now since I'm a film major, it was still unrealistic to have such high ambitions just because of this one class project. I set unrealistic goals for myself and the crew, only to be met by broken up filming schedules, unfinished scripts, dysfunctionality within the crew, and lack of location, which on a low budget and a small set of a film crew can be devastating. It crushed the team's morale, and by the time the deadline was getting closer, we never really reached what we, or at least I, was expecting. So now maybe you're thinking, hey, if you never finished the film, why is the title of the video like this? Well, we did manage to submit a film. Of course we still had to. It was a class project after all. But I don't think I would even call that a film. I think it was just a bunch of clips put together to make a long video. I think there's a big difference between those two. On the very last week before deadline, I decided to round up the crew and set up an interview-like documentary showing the clips that I had stored from previous filming sessions that were unsuccessful. The documentary itself is just about how we never managed to make a film. It's pretty meta actually. That film is actually the majority of the clips you've been seeing this whole time, though I think you've already pieced that together. In the end though, I think the whole experience was worthwhile. While we had so many mishaps and unsuspected drama, I think we had a lot of fun. It's one of those activities that you never really think you'll get excitement out of. It also taught me how to keep myself grounded, and that just because I was able to do so much research, doesn't mean I was already going to be the next big thing. The whole process taught me how to work with what I have and not be overambitious, which is something we can all learn from, I guess. But hey, that's just an advice. I mean, I probably don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, thanks for watching.